I'd like to take a minute just to talk about Deebo. People kind of, I don't know, like people kind of wrote him off this offseason. Like he got hurt. He's just this. He just that. To me, he is the early MVP of this training camp. He's the guy who's changed his body the most. He's the guy who's had the most, who's taken the biggest leap. I mean, he's faster than he used to be. He looks more explosive than he used to be. He's producing every day. He hasn't gotten hurt. He looks like he could be the number one wide receiver on this team if he doesn't get hurt. Nothing against Brandon Ayuk. I just feel like Deebo Samuel is different from what I've seen before. What have you seen? What did you see from Deebo today?
Chip on his shoulder. Just a guy who has heard every single thing that anybody said. And like I said, that comeback route, him going up to get that pass, those are things that weren't in the bag because of other things. I don't have to get into that. I think you guys know. And yeah, it seems like he's playing right now with a bit of a chip on his shoulder, and he's heard everything that's been said. You know, you even heard it in the press conference. I think you guys need to watch more film. I think Deebo hears all that about being, somebody who's just good with the ball in his hands and not a receiver, not a real route runner. I think he's heard all those things. And I mean, I'm not going to, say that that's a good thing, but I mean, it's clear that that's what he's come into camp trying to prove to everybody. Instead of like, what I mean about a good thing is he shouldn't be listening to, outside, but if he's going to use that as motivation, it's a good thing.
Yeah, he looks really good. I mean, you saw him today. I think he had 5 targets, which was tied for most on the team, and he looked really good. He had a really good rapport too with Lance, and two of his catches were both from Lance. The one from Jason, that Jason was referencing. I mean, that ball came at him so fast it actually bounced off his hands. He had to double catch it because it was on him so fast.
Who was the other guy who had 5 targets? Was it Sanu?
Yes.
Yeah. See, I said that Sanu was overhyped, and boom, in my face.
He heard you.
In my face. Good job.
He heard you. I was gonna say, Grant, I don't want to speculate, and I don't like talking to people. Like, again, I didn't see the practices. You see what you see, but Sanu looks solid, man. I don't know, like he looked good today, and he looked like he was a target for both guys.
He is solid. All I'm saying is he's Mohamed Sanu. We all know Mohamed Sanu. We've seen Mohamed Sanu for 10 years. People talking like he's like gonna come out and have like wings and stuff. It's like no. Man, like, he's Mohamed Sanu. He's good.
He's the big slot that Kyle's been waiting for, while he waits for Jalen Hurd. And but you know what? That's fine. And there's a role for that. Kendrick Bourne, I think the 49er fans right now, when you look at the wide receiver depth, they would kill to have Kendrick Bourne back because of how solid he was. Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Chris says, sounds like you're saying there's no play call differences between Jimmy and Trey. Does it look like Trey has been more effective with the calls? Yeah, well, they are like installing the same kind of stuff. And Jack sees like they go through a walkthrough period at the beginning of the day. They have like little walkthrough periods before 11-on-11s, and there's certain things they're trying to work on. So yeah, they're all kind of doing the same stuff. Has Trey been more effective with the call? That's a tough one. I don't know.
They're running them. They're running them at the same. They're running them before practice, and then like I mentioned to Jason, and I'm sure you saw it, where before they go into their team periods, the quarterbacks are throwing to not necessarily to the receivers, but somebody in the positions where they should be expecting the ball.
Right, exactly. Yeah. And that's what I was gonna say. That's what I meant about the accuracy, right? Like, so when they went up from 11-on-11s and they went back to the other side, there was somebody who's standing on the numbers, right? This is where you want the ball to go, and then you throw it, and then you saw Trey at least be a little bit high. So again, giving a receiver a chance is one thing. That guy's not a receiver who's standing there. He's just a guy who works for the team. He's like 5'9", so he's a little bit high in those throws. But he also came back to the huddle and was just like, like trying to work on his own mechanics. He understood what was going on, and I really was impressed with. He could have hung his head a few times when he missed a few of those throws, but he came right back and he wanted to work on it. So.
I would call this like the Fred Warner Award, the most improved player of the offseason, the most valuable player of the training case. Fred Warner owned that. Deebo so far. But again, there's like 9 more days. So let's see him keep it up and not pull a hamstring. Knock on wood. I'm not trying to jinx that.